And welcome back, adventurers, to Let's Play ChäoS Head. In the last episode, Takumi Nishijo decided to, shut himself away from the three-dimensional world of reality and become a fully fledged hikikomori, thanks to the sage advice of the anime magical girl Sarah Orgel. This is, of course, to serve as a runaway shield from the fact that he basically stumbled upon the third new gen incident, courtesy of Shogun, and inadvertently brought back with him a piece of material evidence in the form of the metal cross, or the metallic stake. Roughly a day later, I was still immersed in Balizad. Depriving myself of time to eat, I single-mindedly focused on erasing Takumi Nishijo and existing as Knight-hart. In Ensue I was a god. There was no need to be frightened by demons. Everyone revered me. I always thought about how wonderful it would be if I could stay forever in such a comforting world. Then again, I was going to say that might be a bad thing, but considering the fact of how Overlord turned out, which is another similar sort of genre type anime, yeah, given how Ensue Gon turned out in Overlord, Takumi, that might not be such a bad thing for you, unless that is not how your story begins, nor does it end. And we get some catchy Ensue music here, and you can see Knight-hart's stats clearly now. They're not completely blurred out, and I actually have to say the layout of Ensue is actually not too bad. The HP and MP bars, the various skills and abilities that Knight-hart has, this actually looks like a fairly basic yet straightforward MMORPG. One that isn't actually super cluttered by tedious menus and everything. You've got character, equipment, skill, party, you've got your experience, the amount of money that you have. It's actually a pretty decent layout. And yeah, looks like he's found an ultra rare item that he's been searching for all that time. And you just got a brief glimpse of the minimap there, which actually looks very amazing, if I do say so myself. And everyone's telling him to chill the hell out. Even Grim is doing so. But yeah, there's that minimap again, which looks absolutely fantastic. And I guess Knight-hart is, now has a angel halo on his head. Gotten my paw... Sorry, let me read that again. Having gotten my paws on an ultra rare item I've been searching for forever, I was in hyper mode. My depression had been completely blown away. I'm telling you, an angel halo is a phantasmical item with a drop rate of 0.0001%. And is it just me, or is there some noise in the background there? Its only effect is to change your character's appearance, and since it doesn't have any practical use, But on the flip side, since those around you could tell at a glance if you had one, you'd be the object of many envious stares. Not as far as your guildmates are concerned, however. Then again, they probably all have halos already.
やった。ナイトハルトがまた一歩神に近づいた。
こら、開けろ。
What a racket. Who the heck's been pounding at my door? Once again, I had to break it to you here, Takumi Nishijo, but sadly, reality will not allow you to remain in the world of Balazad for long. So much for wallowing in the joy of snagging a rare item. Don't get in my way.
バカ鬼。
I think your day is about to be heavily ruined. That voice. I became dejected the second I heard that familiar voice. No doubt about it. The voice's owner was the assassin sent out by my parents, my little sister, Nanami. This was going to be a headache. We managed to avoid her while we were at Sume Academy, but not when you're at home.
開けないとひどいんだからね。
Shit. A stormy period of time was about to start. I really didn't want to open it, but if I didn't, she'd run back to my parents and they'd tell me, "You should give up on living alone after all. Come back home." This building's owner was by and large my dad, so he could put enough pressure on me to chase me out without so much as breaking a sweat. It doesn't get any more unreasonable than this. You should just be grateful your landlord isn't Yugo Tanuji, because he'd really bring the house down. Hell, he might even suplex the shipping container to room, given his muscular physique.
鬼。
Shut up. I won't scream into the microphone there and destroy your precious eardrums, adventurers. Don't wail so loud. Also, I'm not going to do that because otherwise I would destroy my throat box for all eternity. And the knocking continues. She was still violently banging on the door from outside. The walls of my container housing were made up of a single sheet of iron plating, so sounds echoed around the room to an amazing extent? That's supposed to be extent there, translators. She knew that and was doing it on purpose. Helpless, I released the inner padlock and opened the door. And so we admit defeat.
あ、やっと出てきた。生存確認。
This lolly-bodied runt is my little sister, 1 year younger.
呼んでるんだから返事くらいしてよね。お兄死んじゃったかもって思ったじゃん。
So, I'm guessing if Takumi is 16, which I think he might be, then Nanami might be 15. Maybe. I can't remember how old Takumi is, but I'm probably right. Every time we see each other, she starts complaining. As could be seen from how she stood with her hands on her hips and her head thrown back, she was a cheeky little brat. Her existence brought me 100 disadvantages and not one bit of benefit. Well, I can't really relate to you here, Takumi, because, well, little reveal here, but I don't have a sister.
うわ、相変わらず部屋の中汚。ちょっとは片付けなよ。
It appears that Nanami is going to act as Takumi's proverbial Jiminy Cricket, as in his conscience. Nanami hopped inside without obtaining my consent. It's because she's my little sister that she gets ahead of herself like this. When I see those guys who mow over little sister types, I want to scream at them at the top of my lungs. You've got to face the reality of it. Yeah, sage advice there for the super hacker known as Daru, but much like Takumi, he has a tendency to averse himself from reality, especially when it comes to anime tropes in general. Well, sister or not, I didn't think she had a bad face. Her kind of childish-looking face might be smack dab in the strike zone for lolly-lovers. And of course, if she were much older, then Daru would be screaming legal lolly for the win, as he did in Steins Gate Zero, but that isn't the case this time. Also in the anime world, Little Sisters translates as emotos. That's the Japanese word for sister. As a blood-related brother though, none of that mattered. Rather, it made me think of her as being babyish. Yeah, and no way Takumi would fap to her. That's by the way, I don't mind lolly types as long as they're 2D. Yeah, Takumi still inadvertently has the same taste as Daru does. Unfortunately.
お兄の部屋って相変わらず不潔。掃除しろっていつも言ってるじゃん。どうしてしないの？まあ、どうせ掃除してくれる彼女なんかいないだろうし。お兄ってズボラだからこうなるのは目に見えてるけどさ。
Yeah, not much that Takumi can say to refute that logic.
こうなったらやっぱりナナが掃除しに来てあげるしかないかな。
You might want to rethink that, Nanami, because Takumi might actually hold you to that.
だが断る。
Or then again, perhaps not.
なんでよ。
お前に部屋荒らされたくない。
きっとそれがわざわざ生存確認しに来てあげてる妹に言うセリフ。
Well, at least she is the caring type, and although having said that, she's probably going to have a very tsundere-esque personality. You yourself don't show your brother an ounce of respect. Besides, no one asked you to come check on my survival. Then again, it's Takumi who is displaying the tsundere trope there. As a reversal.
まったくなんでこんな面倒ばっかりかけさせる兄弟と血つながってるんだろう。たまに嫌になっちゃうよ。
Yeah, seems like a little bit of well, I wouldn't necessarily say sibling rivalry of sorts, but you get the idea.
なんか喉乾いちゃった。飲み物もらうね。
Well, it is pretty much. Is it summer? Advancing further and further into the room, Nanami opened the fridge without asking permission.
コーラしかないじゃん。ミルクティーとか用意しといてよ。
And it seems that, well, this is a branching path for yet another delusion. And I think at this point I'm pretty much going to explore each branching path in the way that I did the first time around. So just give me a moment to set things up, adventurers. Alright, we're all set now. Now, in the fashion that I did before, we're going to be going through the good delusion first and see how this unfolds. And of course, Nanami is berating the fact that Takumi drinks nothing but soft drinks. Though, yeah, I know a lot of people like milk tea. I do not like milk tea in the slightest.
知らんがな。
しょうがないな。じゃあコーラもらうね。
As usual, it looked like she had no intention of getting my approval first. I don't think that she cares one way in the slightest. Taking a plastic bottle of Coke, one that, by the way, I'd drunk from earlier, out of the fridge, she opened the lid, hesitated for a second, and then gulped it straight down. Now, if that was a small bottle of Coke, I would understand. However, if it was a large bottle of Coke, that is actually quite an impressive feat, one that is ultimately going to have serious dire consequences. And lo and behold, here is where the delusion kicks in. Nanami's white throat rose and fell alluringly. I heard the sound of her swallowing.
せめてコップ使えよ。
Girls shouldn't drink straight from the bottle. How vulgar. Jeez, this is why the third dimension is a piece of shit. I think anyone has the right to drink from a bottle. After all, it is plastic, and more than two people probably shouldn't be drinking from the same bottle anyway. And Nanami is incredibly upset by Takumi's response there. Well, he didn't actually say that out loud, but he said, well, told her to use a cup. Nanami stopped drinking and scowled. Was it my imagination, or had her face turned faintly red? Yeah, it would actually be a terrible thing if somebody actually laced that Coke with alcohol. That's not a very good marketing strategy for the Coca-Cola company.
だってナナはお兄と関節キスしたかったんだもん。
Or we could jump straight into anime territory, because why not?
Huh?
She threw a bombshell at me without any warning. Her bearing was sulky, but she looked up at me through her eyelashes. Electricity shot through my entire body. I couldn't tear my sight away from my little sister's teary eyes. This is what a stunningly classic Eroge flag. A capturable, blood-related little sister.
軽蔑した。
You do not want him to answer that question, there, Nanami.
だとしたらナナ悲しくなっちゃうな。
That it would.
言っとくけどお兄相手じゃなきゃこんなことしないんだからね。
Nanami's voice gradually grew smaller and smaller.
お兄のバカ。
And there was the classic tsundere catchphrase. She hung her head, her usual impertinent attitude having vanished, and her whisper was as soft as the hum of a housefly.
ねえお兄関節だけじゃ嫌だな。
I caught my breath, but saliva lay thick in my throat, and I couldn't swallow well. Now, I would be splicing in some JonTron memes here, but it would take too long, and exporting the episode that way would, yeah, take up a lot of time. But you all know the memes. At least, I hope you do. The words were driving me into a corner. I didn't fully understand what Nanami meant.
お兄とキスしたいわ。お兄が欲しいよ。
Nanami took a little step forward toward me as I stood there, motionless. Why? Though she was the same Nanami I'd always seen as being a babyish runty brat. My heart was pounding incredibly hard right now.
いいじゃん。16年間も 慢してきたんだよ。
Reaching out, Nanami wrapped both arms around my neck. Ah, so actually Takumi was 17, I think. That would explain why Nanami is 16.
キスして。
As though urging me on, she raised her chin a fraction. She softly closed her eyes. My answer was...
いや、その理屈はおかしい。
Jesus Christ. Though I'd imagined it myself, I snapped right out of it and was deeply disgusted with myself. Good reason, because otherwise the Japanese Self-Defense Force, since this is Japan and not America with the FBI would be instead, at least they're not breaking down the door and pouring into the room with riot gear. In other words, sick. I make myself sick. Well, at least you know when you've crossed the proverbial threshold. I gave the matter careful thought. If Nanami were my sister by adoption and possessed more of the endearing qualities you might expect from a little sister, I might have ended up as one of life's winners. To which I reply, no, Takumi Nishijo, you would not have ended up as one of life's quote-unquote winners. That's not how you win in life. And meanwhile, in reality, Nanami is staring at Takumi, puzzled, quizzically, wondering just what the hell is going on.
どうしたの?
Having finished drinking her coke, Nanami looked over me curiously. Ah, crud. Thanks to that daydream, I was becoming weirdly conscious of her. I took a deep breath and shook the repulsive visions out of my head.
もう帰れよ。
She confirmed that I was still alive, so she had no reason to stay here. Why did she have to come up to my room each and every time?
お兄、冷たい。
Indeed he is. I looked at my words had hit her where it hurt. Glaring at me, she pouted. It would be a hassle to deal with her, so I looked away.
せっかく心配して様子を見に来てあげてるのに。
Yeah, despite Takumi's opinion of her, Nanami is actually a doting, caring younger sister.
お兄ってずっとここに引きこもって誰とも喋らずに一日を終えちゃうことだってあるんでしょ?
Who clearly knows and understands him better than most people do.
女の子と話す機会だってどうせ全くないんだよね。
Shut up. Stop jeering at me. I'm not into the reading girls, so there's no need for me to talk with them.
言ってみればお兄と話す女の子はナナだけってことじゃん。
Pretty much.
だからさ、もっとナナのこと大事にしてよ。そしたら女の子との接し方もちょっとは分かってくるはずだし。
As she spoke, Nanami picked up one of my figures, Hikaru-tan from Suicide for the Light, and scrutinized her intently. Arg, don't unilaterally decide to touch one of my wives. I'll knock your lights out if you get fingerprints on her. Too little too late.
あと、お兄は自分のことにもっと気を使って。こんなお人形さんにうつつを抜かしてる場合じゃないよ。ナナはお兄の死体の第一発見者になんかなりたくないからね。
What on earth was this sister of mine trying to say? Lately she'd somehow started to give off the same kind of feeling as our mom, which is to say, in conclusion, she's still obnoxious.
いいから帰れよ。
そんなに帰れ帰れ言わないでよ。お兄のバカ。まだこっちには用事が残ってるの。
She was getting more and more hysterical. If I pissed her off anymore like this, she'd go out of control, chill out herself. And I actually believe this is a good time to end the episode here, adventurers. So when we return, we shall cycle through the quote-unquote bad delusion, and then see what actually happened in the course of reality. As always, dear adventurers, until next we meet.